Hey y'all, it's day 5 of our SLP to owner challenge. Woo! We made it, but this is probably the most important day with a lot of things to discuss. So are you ready? All right, here goes. So, how are you going to run your business? That is the question. I have in my notes operations. How are you going to operate your practice? So, thing one, documentation. Now, I was the crazy who, from day one, spent the money on an EMR system. Okay. I just was like, I don't want to do this by hand. I just don't. Whether it's my billing, my documentation, none of it. So I bought an EMR system straight out the gate. Now, of course, when you first started out, you want to save some money. So you need to think of how would I write my reports, write my notes, keep them HIPAA compliant, in saving on my laptop, my computer, all of that. You need to think about how you're going to organize yourself with your documentation. Also, probably should have said this first. Your phone number, your fax number, your email. What are you going to do? Well, the easy and cheapest way to do it is Google Voice. Google Voice is the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, so Google Voice is linked to your Gmail, right? So what I did, I'm gonna give you a tip that a lot of people won't tell you. When you go looking for a Google Voice number, don't just pick any number. Look for something that's easy to remember, because you're going to start using this as your number, not your personal cell phone number. This is going to be your business number. So it needs to be something easy. I lucked out after flipping through all those little pages and found a business number. My business number is 770-742-8742. And yes, I got that number from Google Voice. I have been able to take that Google Voice number and port it over to Vonage, and then finally I ported it over to Ringcentral, which those are two iCloud phone systems. And I did that because I hired an office manager and everything was linked to my cell phone. So I had to upgrade our phone system. And of course, that came with a cost. But if you're trying to keep costs low and you don't have an office manager yet, Google Voice is your best bet. But definitely flip through those pages to find a business-like, easy to remember number. Okay? Fax. You need an iCloud fax, not just a fax with your printer. It just makes life easier when you're doing your reports. You're able to upload your reports to the fax and send the fax like an email, basically. So I started with SFax, but I heard they raised their prices. When I first started with SFax, it was like $9 a month and 150 pages free a month. But I think now they're like $50 a month or something like that. But when I moved to Ringcentral for my phone system, it also has a fax feature as well. So I actually eliminated a bill by going to Ringcentral because it has my phone and my fax. Okay, email. Start with a Gmail. Ain't nothing wrong with starting with a Gmail. But I did upgrade to what they call it, G Workspace now. I still call it G Suite. But my email for my business is Lauren at Here to Speak. And all you have to do is put in your domain name and you can make as many emails as you want. Of course, it's a cost. I believe it's like $10 or $12 per email, but I'll put details about that later. Also, with the email, let's say you're trying to save money, you can make one that says hello at Here to Speak Academy, right? And then you can make one that says billing Here to Speak Academy. You can say hello at Here to Speak, and then maybe an alias one that says billing at Here to Speak, but it still goes to that one email, and you can just share it with your office manager, or someone who, or an assistant that's just helping you out part-time, so that you don't have to pay for 2 emails when you don't have the employees to support that. Now, MPI. This is important. Everyone has an MPI number. If you are a school SLP, you already have one. Look it up. Put your name in Google and put MPI next to it. I promise it's going to pop up. But here is another tip that a lot of people don't talk about. You need an organizational MPI. Why, Lauren? Well, you never know where life is going to take you. Initially, I thought it was just going to be me, myself, and I, and then my waiting list got crazy, and then I had to hire somebody. But what if I filed all of my insurances as an individual and not as a group? I would have had to go back and redo everything. Well, actually, that did happen to me with one of my insurances, but I'll talk about that later. So it's most important that you get an organizational MPI, okay? And use that. And when you file to be an insurance provider, use the organization MPI and not your individual, because when you bill, it will only be up under your name, and you want it to be up under your business name. Because the way it works in insurance world, when you file or when you apply as a group, they will send you a spreadsheet. I'm giving you so many tips on this one. They're going to send you a spreadsheet and ask you to list all the therapists in your practice and their MPI. So they will approve those therapists up under your business MPI. If that doesn't make sense, I'm going to make a whole video about that. All right. Last but not least, you need to figure out how you're going to accept people's payments. Are you going to use Ivy Pay? Are you going to use Square? Are you going to use PayPal? Again, because we're healthcare professionals, we have to make sure everything is HIPAA compliant. Okay? Recap. Not organization. Where am I? I'm thinking about MPI. Operations. Got your notes? You ready? Operations. You need to think about your documentation. How are you going to keep up with that? You need to think about your phone number, your fax, your email. Even if you're going to do private pay, you still need to have these things in place. You need to make sure you have access to your MPI login, and then you need to file an organization MPI. Okay, so I have an MPI for Lauren Hastings, and I have an MPI for Here to Speak. And then last but not least, you need to figure out what platform you're going to use to accept people's payments. Especially if you're going to be an insurance provider, you will have some people that will have co-pays. So this is very important. And especially for the people who are going to be private pay, is extremely important. All right? Let me not forget, you can also use Quickbooks for payment as well. I use that for a little bit. All right? Whew, that was a lot. I know that was longer than my other days, but you have to get your operations set up and in line before you start marketing to anybody, any doctor's offices, okay? I hope you enjoyed this challenge, and I will see you back next week, tomorrow, any day you decide to watch this video, because I'm going to give you some more tips. I got so much we could talk about. Next time, let's talk about market analysis. Let's do that. Till next time.